Okay, we are ready here. Lakshman,
Okay.
ready? Live streaming ready? Okay. So friends, welcome back for this another session, this beautiful session again at WebIDEC 2020. We have Aashti from Quebec. Right now she is in India, I've heard. Am I correct? Yes.
Yeah.
So through
Malay,
she will be talking about intuition. And before we start the session, I would like to introduce you about Aashti. Aashti was born in Quebec. She spent her time between Canada, Europe, and India. She's a therapist, astrologer, spiritual teacher, and a lover of nature, and also alchemical shaman. She has been guiding people on their inner journey for the past 30 years, helping them recognize their oneness with life and honoring their uniqueness. She met the mystic OSHO in the late 1980s, studied, lived, and worked as a therapist for 5 years at the center in India. She developed her own approach, experiential astrology, tarot intuition, intuition, and family trance mission. In 2005, she launched her school in intuition, and currently shares her experience in many countries with different culture around the world through workshops, retreats, conferences, and individual meetings. In 2014, she went through the dark night of the soul. In that surrender, joy, peace, and love emerged, something that no one and nothing can take away. Her down-to-earth approach, her clear vision and intuition coupled with a keen understanding of the human psyche has helped people to cut through their identifications and to reconnect with their inner wisdom and intelligence. She ultimately invites you to trust the calling home from the heart, bringing you to the self. With wide experience lasting over the last 30 years, she has developed her own approach, combining shamanic tools, experiential astrology, creative arts, meditation, sacred and transpersonal psychology. Let's welcome for this wonderful session. She will be talking, the title of her conference today, this evening is Intuition, Learning from Inside. Let me just go through what she says by that. She writes, life is the school. Each situation that comes our way is an invitation to learn, to grow, to develop our potential, to express our resources, talents. She asks, did you learn at school to look from within, to listen to these little voices inside, the one who knows? We learn and continue to teach our children how to survive, what they should do, to protect, to hide, to react according to what the other expects from them, even if that means denying one's own truth. She further says that we learn these mechanisms very fast and they become our identity, and we forget who we really are. Let's welcome Aashti for this session. Thank you very much for joining us, Aashti. Let's listen to her. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. I have, sorry. So again, welcome. Thank you. Thank you for having that space, and thank you for this initiative, because I think it's very important by what we are going through as in the world right now, that we have a deep look and honest look at how we are continuing to learn, or to learn from situation. And I was the first one when I saw the invitation of Abel to invite people to see maybe if somebody wants to contribute to give a conference. I say, yeah, it's a pity because I'm more teaching to adult. My people I work with are more adult. the teachers, actually, more the one who accompany children. But as I'm not working with children, maybe I don't have nothing to say, actually. And by different circumstance, it comes like, yeah, but why not you don't come to share? And I say, but actually, yes, I have things to say I would like to share. And by preparing or by reflecting about what wants to be shared today with you, I realized that in fact, I'm very excited. And I've been into this world of teaching and learning since 30 years that, I mean, it looks like very, very long, you know? So I don't know, like, you know, my team as it is intuition, what I would like to invite us tonight, it's not just about talking about something, but to have a real experience actually. So let's experience directly what I'm talking about. And so many out of that, if there is one little thing that is touching you, this will be enough. You know, we don't need so much. If not, we often have the tendency to listen from here. What are the information she will give, you know? And then the mind is doing its job of the mind and categorize, analyze, judge. Oh, this is good. Yes. Oh, this I like. Or this was better saying like this, or this one. The mind will do its job. And then what does it give at the end of the game? You know, that we will say, okay, she was good or she was not good, or this was, I already know the subject, I heard about that already, so what is the point? But in fact, we are not just here to receive, because I do believe that if you are here together tonight, it's not just an accident. You really choose to reserve that time for yourself. So I will invite you just to listen from inside, to listen how what is being shared here, does it resonate something inside you? If it doesn't resonate, it pass. You don't have, it's not for you. It's maybe it will ring a bell maybe to somebody else, you know? And I'm sure that at the end of maybe this meeting, we can see what has been important for you. And we will have maybe 15, 20, whatever, how many people are here, different response. So this is the gift. This is my invitation. So if you are willing, I will invite us to share that together. As if I feel that we are all like a flute, you know, like a musical instrument. And according to what is said here, it will vibrate something. It will bring a light. It will bring in front of your awareness, in front of consciousness, this. So if something happened like this, take care of that. Be with that. Don't just say, oh no, I need to stay focused. This is what's happening. This is the gift you are receiving. Okay, so I hope everybody is holding your hand, say, yes, I want this. Even if I don't see you. Yeah, great. Thank you. Okay. And I was also thinking that to approach the subject, maybe I use my own experience, you know. It's not necessarily for talking about me like this, but talking as a real example, not just talking about theory, you know. Because it's like, for me, I start from the principle that the child who is coming, everybody of us, and I'm talking also as a child in us right now, which is maybe in a big body of 40, 50, 60, 70 years old, but still this little child. And when I'm talking of this little child, I'm not talking of the emotional, you know, the inner child that needs to heal and all this. Talking of the wisdom. I'm talking of the innocence that we are, which is still there, just available. Okay, so So I'm taking for granted that we are coming here to not as empty vessel, not as empty, needing to be filled by a kind of somebody, which we call parents or a teacher, that will give us all the knowledge, and after that we will be great and we will be able to function in life. You know, I think this has been the pattern very long, and we are not empty, and you know it. You know it. Every child, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, 6 years, know that he knows. He may be not able to explain, and still today we are not able necessarily to explain, but we know inside when we know it, you know. And I think it's time to see is our educational system is going in that direction, you know. Is our way to approach life is about revealing, supporting this seed, this wisdom that we are, to unfold, to give its perfume, to share what the native, which I really like this expression, and I hope you understand, offering our medicine. You know, it's not about that we are doctors. It's about that we came here to offer. It's natural. If we are looking at nature, everything is offering. Nobody is waiting to have the confirmation. The perfume is going out. The flower is naturally opening up. The bird is opening his wings. Like the water is flowing. You know, everything is expressing. And I feel that we are the same. We are nature. We are not in nature. We are the nature. And we are here to just as the same as what we will call nature, the trees or the animals, here to participate in this big ecosystem, you know. So I had the chance in a way to grow up in nature. I was the seventh child of a family, and we were living a little bit away from town. So very, very young, my friends, and until late, I mean, until today, but I had this young age was very strong, talking with trees, talking with birds, and connecting with the spirit of the water, of the earth. And for me, it was natural. Actually, you know, I thought that everybody is like this because it's so obvious that they are a human being, that everything is alive and everybody is there. Like when I talk everybody, the rocks, the bees, the insect, or the flowers, they were there for me and just showing me all the time how life is working, you know, how they work with the relationship between the birds, how do they find food, how do they listen, how do they are in ecstasy with the wind caressing the leaves, and how they organize themselves so that everybody has a space. It's all this has been there present when this was my school. This was my school, and when I arrived at school, actually, I had a little problem. Uh, I was a good girl. I was, I was behaving good. I was not a dropout, but I realized how much it was retarded. You know, for me, the school, the normal school was very always behind the time of now, and bringing back like understanding or a vision of the past. So it cannot be like this because life is always now. And how can we learn? How can we learn to unfold? You don't have to teach a tree to see, okay, now you are going to become a big tree. I tell you, you know, you are strong, you are the best one in life. But let me teach you how to do it, you know. No, we know it. And it's like, but we didn't receive that, you know. So this instead of seeing this beauty or this seed and wanting to unfold, we come with something from the past on top of something which is ready to flower. And the mind will always do that. The mind will always bring something from the past. So the invitation here is to start to listen. I would say that the first ingredient for me in education is to teach or to support the art of listening. Without any idea, without any preconceived focus or idea, just this open space, which is receiving. At least I'm telling you what happened to me in nature, which I saw after that, the difference when I was sitting at school, you know, which was really not that way. And when you listen, as I was saying before, there is a resonance, you know, that will trigger. And then the information is coming, and then there is a response. This response is intelligent, you know. Let me look a little bit because, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I wanted to give you an example of that. Is it a good idea? I would like to know, is it a good idea to give some example of what I went through in the school and all this for you? Is it interesting? Yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm. Because it started already when I was in the first like, try to give you like some condensed example. You know, when you are 5, kindergarten. Yeah, I remember in the kindergarten, I was in that space of very much like an ecstatic space, very, very open and very much enjoy. And I remember just this finger pointing at me and saying, "What are you doing there?" I remember again today, as much as it was strong, for this little that I could not understand what I was doing wrong. But I understood through the look of the teacher that it looks like something I was doing wrong. And how can the child can understand, because nothing is explained, you know? And so it's going so fast inside me. I would like to say everything at the same time. It's cute to see that, you know? So I will try. I'm sorry if it's sometime going there, coming back there. Just listen inside and see what resonates for you. So this was my first experience to see, like, how come here it feels so beautiful. It was like pure love, you know? And somebody is telling me this is not good. So this is how without probably knowing it, the adult can come and cut off what is really happening in the child as an experience. And later on in school, maybe I passed a couple of examples, but later on in school, I was studying horticulturist, you know, always being close to nature. And I said, okay, let's study in that. So I had a teacher who at one point come and we were learning how to grow flowers for the Mother's Day. You know, this kind of flower that arrive in the market for Mother's Day. And it's very important. It's a good market. And I say he was teaching us to put pesticide. And I was already very, very aligned already. Since 16 years old, I was already aligned to organic food, organic gardening, and protecting nature and all this. And I didn't find this in the school, which was I was learning. It was a school special for agriculture, horticulture, and all these kind of profession. And nothing was organic, nothing was about protecting the planet. And I said to my teacher, I said, are you telling me that I will have to put pesticide to give flowers to my mother? And I will have to destroy nature for one day to say I love her? I mean, I'm sorry, I don't get it. Because Mother Earth, what I'm doing to Mother Earth for so-called saying to my mother, I love her, I refuse. I will not put pesticide. This is not logic for me. And he said, but you will have to do it. Because I said, why? He said, that's how it is. I said, but it's like, can you see? And he said, I cannot discuss. Or you take it or you leave it. I said, okay, I'm leaving. And I left. And I quit the course. And it's like, what was very interesting is like that this teacher didn't take any minutes to come to see this child. Okay, I was 17, I was no more a child, but I'm still a child. I'm learning, I'm open. Never took to say, to support this new idea, or what is your interest, what's happening there, do you want to talk about this, what are the other are thinking about that, it was about, this is how it is. And he was bringing something from the past, because we were already this was at the beginning of the 80s, it was already there, the organic thing. I was already involved in that. So there was, you see, a dichotomy between what was possible to learn, and because it was not accessible in his mind, he could not share it, because it was only pure knowledge, And the little story which I found funny is like, he started later a radio show. This teacher became a little bit famous in Quebec, in Montreal. And many years later, when I went back to Quebec, I heard that it's like in horticulture right now, and in the city of Montreal, there is no pesticide. This was maybe, I don't remember, maybe in the 90s, or, so that now the pesticide was not allowed anymore. But 20 years before, we were talking about that, and it was like impossible. And it happened that I had the chance to meet this teacher, and I say, okay. And he was in his radio show that was still going on. He was sharing that now we don't put pesticide anymore, and now that it's important to protect nature. And when I was hearing that, I say, isn't it amazing? Isn't it amazing that he's saying what I was telling him 20 years ago, which he refused to hear, which he even banned me, And it's like, is it like this that we are doing with our children? Are we receiving their wisdom? Are we really open to hear what they are seeing, how they are experiencing the world? Or we are saying, no, this is not possible. There is no angel. There is no spirit. You cannot talk to a tree, You have to listen to what others are saying. And that's how everybody, I mean, I don't know you, I'm sorry, but it's like, that's the people I meet, even if they are really sincere. We have all been into trying to be the good girl, trying to be the good boy, according to what the other is looking for us. And by doing that, and by asking the child to do that, to behave, we are cutting off. We are putting a veil on top of this capacity to learn, because life is a learning process all the time. It's not that it lasts 12 years and after university. It's like every day we have to learn. Look at the world right now, and look at your neighbor, or look at ourselves. Are we able to adapt? Are we able to respond? And this is my other big theme after listening, because as we are Is it okay right now, the rhythm and all this? Are we hearing properly? Everything is fine? Yeah? Good? Okay. If not, I will really appreciate that you share, that you don't understand me well. And if you have question, I mean, it's very welcome. And this capacity of listening and look for yourself, is developing also this capacity to respond, which I call the responsibility. It's interesting. The other woman before, Virginie, was talking about responsibility. And I want to be sure you understand very in the main way, because often when I meet people, they say, yeah, we have to be responsible in life. We cannot do anything or everything like we want. And they are still talking about a kind of responsibility from the outside. But they don't have this ability to respond to what is calling inside. Life is calling us on. Life is calling us to remember that we are life itself. But how are we going to recognize it? Nobody will tell you, even if I'm telling you, yes, you are life. Yeah, I know it here. I read the book, or I listen to satsang, or to some wise person, to some spiritual guide that are telling me that we are love, I'm just love. But are we experiencing it really? What are we doing? And it's like, this child who is coming and expressing, he's expressing love, in fact. But listening is just going to express. And what are we doing with that? We are judging, saying, no, it's not the right moment. We are not allowing to really receive. So now what's happening is, in fact, we are holding back. Like, okay, let me not, I will come back to, I'm coming back to responsibility, because I want to talk to you about another law of nature, which is synchronicity. But I will try not to confuse both. So this ability to respond to physical body, to respond to the emotional body, to respond to the mental body, energetic body. Because often, of course, it's all one, but it will help every human being to recognize that, in fact, sometimes the physical body can be tired, but the emotional body will just say yes to my friend calling me, say, hey, what are you doing tonight? Let's go to the movie, or should we meet? There is a little party at home. And off we go, but we were almost in the bed, because like the physical body was tired. So, but the emotion, we run on the emotional body, and then we go there. But did we took a time to listen? And to respond accordingly? We didn't learn that. I didn't learn that, so I don't know. And I went to an open school, actually. Maybe I wanted to talk that I also had the chance to go in a open. It was an experiment at school in the between the age of 12 and 16. I don't know what we say in English for that period of time. And so you learn yourself. You learn by yourself. You don't have a teacher. You have a tutor. You understand? Tutor. Who is kind of in charge of seeing if you are going well or not. So everybody can follow his own rhythm. And I was doing quite well in that system, actually. So I was never at school, because my school was the forest and the field and the birds. And one day this woman came, this tutor, and asked me, she said, you are not at school. What are you doing? I said, are you seeing my notes? Is a problem. I was doing very fast, and I was doing almost 2 years in one, in French and in history. And it's like, so she said, yeah, you are doing well, but how come you're not at school? I said, yeah, this is not your problem. I realized I was quite, clear as a kid to say, yeah, I'm doing my things. You want the result? You have the result. For the rest, it's my life, it's my business. And for me, school, as I was living in nature, school was for me a place for meeting my friends, for doing some art, and some experience with some people, you know. And the study and all this was, I was going in nature with my book about the river, and then everybody was coming and everything was falling, and I was just responding to that. And I'm sure that this, and I know by now teaching about that with people, to reconnect with that capacity of learning from inside, to know that we know already. You know, I'm never taking like I don't know. I will explain to you a little bit later what I mean for that. Because we know from that space who doesn't know, actually, you know, from that listening and ability to respond. And this is, according to me, what we will need to really bring back into our own life as adults, and so that we can support the child to say, okay, how is it, you know? Because maybe the little child is making a crisis on the emotional, but on the mind is very good, he's very clear. But on the emotional, he needs something. So to recognize the difference of the need of all the different bodies, I think it's a plus. It's a must, you know, to become more whole, to see us as a global, like nature, you know. There is water, there is air, you know, that all this energy is functioning inside of us. It's important to see how this water is running, how the air, the mind is able to perceive, to hear, to see, you know, life, the thoughts patterns, how our energy is able to develop itself, to respond, you know. And we have all a body which is more at ease than others, you know. So this is also good to realize. I will talk more about this part on the French conference on Saturday, which I want to introduce how looking at the moon's placement of the moon in the natal chart, and knowing that in the kids can help a lot, not to spoil and to destroy the kid, you know, because a little moon in Aries will not move the same way as a Cancer moon, you know. And sometimes it can be really helpful for teacher to know this kind of natural way of learning of every kids, you know. But this is for Saturday. So what did I was saying? What did I was saying? Then it's a test. Somebody can tell me?
You were sharing about how bold you were in declaring your independence to be out of school, and you were sharing about responsibility before you go to synchronicity.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And this is, you know, another example I can say which really touched me a lot in that school of horticulturists. It's to the course of landscaping, to show that how uh, it's like, it's amazing how the teacher, I don't know, you know, the teacher needs to learn something. The teacher, so we have a project of landscaping, and so we have to see with our clients what he wants, what he's looking for, and do his residential, you know, house, and with the garden and all this. So I had my fictitious, it was a fiction client, you know, who wants to have a lot of trees and to attract birds and to attract insects, to have a kind of life of birds and flowers around his house. And he wants to use also some indigenous plants, you know, not just the commercial plants, but he wants also to put into value the natural plants. So I did the plan accordingly. And then you have to respect some rules, you know, about the landscaping rule and all this. So I use a plant which is indigenous in Canada or in America. So I don't know, if, it depends where you're from. It's the sumac. I don't know if you know this tree is sumac. It's and it gives a kind of red flowers that you can use to drink lemonade. So I was thrilled, to propose to my client that it will attract a lot of birds and all this. And my client was thrilled and he likes it. And he said, "What, great." Teacher, look at the plan and say, "This is not acceptable." I say, "So, okay, maybe tell me what? Tell me why." Because this plant is indigenous, and this plant is growing a lot from the like the lilac, from the roots, giving a lot of baby like this, and so it's generous and it's getting a lot of place in the garden. I say, "Yeah, but we have grass, and the client is cutting the grass, so it will be cut, so it will take care of itself." So I had my response. I said, "It's a good idea, but I asked my client, and he said that he will take care by cutting the grass." He said, "No, you cannot do that. You have to remove that plant. It's not acceptable. You cannot use that plant in a landscaping." And I was using vegetable. And he said, "You don't use vegetable in a landscaping. You use flowers in a landscaping." I said, "But I mean, my client is looking for going in his garden and taking his parsley and taking this little mint and making his tea and all this." It's, I was very much in advance, because now in Quebec, I don't know where you are living, but we are putting vegetable in the bed in town for the plants. It's like, now it is accepted. And at that time I said, "But this guy is not even able to conceive." So what happened is, like, he said, "You have to remove it." I said, "Okay." And I didn't. And I give my work like this. And he put me a 0. And I said, "Wow, this is amazing. This is amazing." I mean, I'm always saying to myself, I'm happy to be strong, because this destroys somebody. This is just destroying somebody, because it's creativity, it's opening, my curiosity, my research, my trying to fit. He didn't consider anything, how I made this process, how I learned from doing that. He looked at, he didn't like the tree, and I was not going to pass. And I'm sure that you have in your life an example of this. And I'm sure that maybe in your life right now, you still believe that's something you cannot do because it's not possible. And this is what I would like that you wake up to realize, is it true? Because we have now to do this for ourselves. We have not been supported in that. But it doesn't mean that we don't have to do this, changing our focus and to see, but is that still true that I cannot do that? It's very, very, very powerful how the child is absorbing without even you saying anything, And what I want to share is that it's very important, the honesty of the adult towards a child. And I'm talking of the honesty of the big one inside you toward the little one inside you also, just in case you forgot it. And we're thinking about a child outside. It's also here that we are not honest. We are still lying. Oh, I'm asking. Just look for yourself. And I will have the tendency that probably, yes, sometimes that you are still hiding your real truth. And it's like what I see in my work of accompany people is that, of course, we have been all wounded. We have been all receiving things like, an example that comes right now, which is very simple. My parents didn't were afraid of water. They didn't say anything to us. But all in my family, we are not swimming well. And we are a little bit scared of water. Isn't it amazing? They didn't say, but just by their way they approach us in our little swimming pool we had of 2 feet, high, that we could at least do that a little bit, just their way they were. And also not telling the truth that about what they were experiencing inside, we picked it up. And we just picked up without knowing why, that it's probably dangerous. And that's how I see that the family transmission, which has been a big interest for me in the last 20 years, I'm working on the family transmission, because in astrology, we see very well the family trade, how it is repeating, how it is how the jewel wants to unfold in that tribe, in that family tribe. And what I see is like often the parents are coming, and I heard myself, my own mother coming to me, and I knew everything. And what is a pity is that she didn't realize that I knew everything. And one time my father had a big accident and received a ball. There was a hold up in the bank, and he received a ball in the belly, 2 balls actually, of a revolver. So he almost died. And so my big brother came at night and said, okay, something happened with dad, but he had to go to the hospital, but everything is fine. Everything is fine. And I just picked up the energy and I say, it's not true. He's lying. It's not true. And my mother came at night later. Of course, we were in the bed. So I heard the sound and I just went straight to her and I said, what's happening? She said, go to bed. And she was crying, and I heard my hand saying to my mother, take an aspirin, go to bed, and hopefully tomorrow we will see. I said, what's happening? What happened? She said, I told you to go to bed. I said, you don't say that to a kid. I felt everything. How can I go to bed? It's I don't know if it's horrible. But she wanted to protect me. Huh? That's what we say. That's what they are saying. That's what every parent, we want to protect the child. That's why we don't say to them. It's for me as somebody who is working with the grown-up and seeing all the impact in their life that the secret of the family has done. I would say, stop to keep the secret. Stop to say, no, we don't talk about this. It's horrible, the effect down the river, after 1, 2, 3 generations. And if you want, we can talk a little bit more about that, because it's a big part of the learning and on the shock of our capacity to trust our intuition, to trust our capacity to, because it's like, no, it's not possible. Like me, I knew, I said, no, you will tell me what happened. And I stand to my mother and she said, okay, so there was a little something happening at the bank, somebody come and dad has been hurt by that. Don't I remember the exact term? I say, wow, is he going to die? No, right now he's well taken care of, and we will all go to sleep now. And then I was able to go to sleep. I was more afraid before, because what I was feeling was her tension or the information, but without being able to put it into a concrete reality. And every child, I'm sure, is like this. Everybody is like this. And it's not because I'm psychic, A lot of people say, oh, it's good, you are psychic. It's like, no, I'm listening. I'm listening. We are picking it up. It's in the air. And if we are available, we will sense it. And then I come back to this importance that often, for the good of our children, we say it's better not to talk about this to them, because we are preventing us to live something like divorcing or splitting or changing work or house, because we say it will disturb the kid. I'm not talking about doing anything, everything, and what astrology told me or teach me, when I look at the chart of the child, when the parents wants to do a big change in their life, and they are hesitating because they don't want to affect the child. I said, anyway, the child is in a space right now where he is opening up to learn new things. He's having Uranus. I don't know if there is astrologer here, but he's having this. So even if it's not coming from inside the family, it's coming from school, it will come from outside, because he himself is opening up to new dimension. So your movement is totally in tune, and the movement of expansion of the child is totally in tune with what's happening in your life. And I believe it's always like this. I mean, I'm just having 20 years, or, I've been seeing many people, but it's still maybe not so much, but I trust that it's always the same pattern. And in that, I see that, in fact, it's the trust. We don't trust that the child is having his capacity to develop his resource, to learn new ways. And by doing that, by not saying the truth, by saying, why to say that to him, that he is adopted? Why to say to him that something happened, I had a little affair, and or sorry, the only example that comes is that he's not the real father, or he's not, or something happened to in the family when he was young, and tak attack, tak attack. It's horrible. I mean, sorry, I look intense by saying that, but I saw the consequence of being not able after that as an adult. And you tell me if I'm right, if it's like this for you, I would like to hear you, that after that, we are no more able to have discernment and to really connect with, okay, this is true. This is what really I feel, because I feel something and the adult is telling me, no, it's not true. I feel that mama is papa is having something in the house right now. But when I ask, how is it? Everything is fine. Everything is good. No, everything is fine. No problem. But I will have to trust my parents, because they are kind of authority. And me, I say, so what I feel is not right. What I understood is not the good thing. So when later I'm in life trying to learn something, or trying to say, yeah, this is how we will do that. This is the right way for me to express myself. This is what I would like to create as a business or my work. Oh, no, it's probably not the right thing. No. No. What is my mission? I have to go to see somebody who will tell me my mission. What is my mission of life? And it's like, then I'm losing it. And I will ask somebody to tell me what I'm supposed to live. Can you see that? Can you see that the tree is asking, can you tell me how to open my flower? And we are running around saying that it's a pity I'm a sunflower, but I would like to be a rose, actually, because I heard somewhere that to be a rose is very good. So we don't learn how to see our unicity as a sunflower and the beauty of the sunflower. And like this, we don't see the beauty of the rose. We are continuously into a power trip of, you are better and I'm better, and I don't have enough and you have more, and all this, instead of seeing how we create a field of beauty, like nature is showing us all the time. Say, wow. And we are crying, we have tears of gratitude in front of the beauty of the diversity. And here we are between each other saying, yeah, but it's not good, and this is better, and you should be more strong, and trying always to be something else, instead of trusting that way that life is expressing through this body. And you follow me? Are you with me? Or, yeah? Because it's like this, as I was saying, as I experience now with this big peace that reveals itself, and the peace that nobody can touch, and there is no doubt anymore of who who we really are. It's not only me, it's the true nature of who we are. It's like we are looking, and as we are playing hide and seek, you know, that's the humor. It's beautiful. And we are exploring to share our medicine that way. We are calling inside, you know, we face our mountain and we don't know how to climb this mountain. So of course we'll say, I don't know. And then if we really allow this face to face to the I don't know, we will also encounter the one who knows deeper, deeper down. You know, in French, we have this expression like celle qui sait, celui qui sait, that which knows. You know, but for this we need to unlearn. We need to accept that in fact we don't know nothing. And like for me, now the school for the grown up or the teacher is about unlearning, oh sorry my English, like uncovering, you know, all the layers of belief that I have about myself, to reach that point where I don't know. Then life can come in, then intelligence can come in, because there is availability, there is space for wisdom to reveal and to say. But this nobody can claim, I know. The intellect, the intelligence, the knowledge, somebody can claim, I know that. I know how to drive a plane. I know how to build a house. But the one that knows is the natural wisdom, is the intrinsic is the natural wisdom that we are actually. It's not anything that we need to learn. But meanwhile, as we are playing hide and seek, you know, that we think we don't know, and the law of synchronicity come into play. And this law, for me, I will say how I experience it. I'm not declaring that I know, you know, everything. How I experience it, it's about that you are looking for something, so you will attract, and life will manifest, life will answer, always answer. Always, always, always answer. There is, for me, no doubt about it. Whatever the kind of experience you are living, it's always an answer of your calling, the calling inside, for you to realize who you are. So it will come in the form of meeting somebody, opening a book and having the sentence, or having a radio show that you are listening and the person is exactly talking about something you were looking for. You know what I mean? You had this experience of, my God, I was looking for that. I didn't know how to climb my mountain. I was looking, where can I start? And here somebody is coming, say, you know, there is a little path there, you know, and here we go. And this person is coming from nowhere and just disappear off my life, just giving me this, you know, little information. And every step on the way, it's like this. Or I'm asking you, do you feel it's like this in your own life? You know? So what I want to say with that, is it like, isn't it well done? I mean, isn't it beautiful to recognize and to see that everything is talking to me? So I'm coming back again. You see that this listening is always this base. Am I available? Because maybe God is coming, or your answer is coming out to reach the mountain, but you say, who are you? You don't see that you are disturbing me. I'm having a big, you know, I'm searching right now, and I don't see that this little child who is coming is just giving me the gift I'm looking for. That changed my life. That changed my life. So are you following what is calling? Do you follow your longing to share this love with your neighbor, with somebody in the street? Because you don't know, but you will change your life at this person. because you just came, and what comes to you is just like, wow, you are beautiful today, or you have a nice dress, but you don't know that this person was wondering if her dress was good, and you just happen to pass by very innocently, and you just say to her, you know, you have a very beautiful dress. You change her life. Is it a good example? Is it a clear example to understand that a simple thing that happened to you, like you opened a book, or somebody come to you and bring you a bread, and you were just missing bread, and you said, look, I just did a bread and I thought to come to you and offer it to you. Say, my God, how did you know it? I was looking for having a piece of bread this morning. Anyway, we can say I can tell you 1,000 of examples in my life that I call them angels, that just come and just are the mirror and just the confirmation of, okay, you are taken care of. You are in the arms of existence. I'm there. You are there. Don't worry. Keep going. We climb the mountain together, and you will see on the way. You cannot wait. And that's what we are teaching children right now. We are waiting down the mountain to learn how to climb the mountain before climbing the mountain. And a lot of people say to me, but I cannot do that because I don't know. But I said, but do it. You will learn how to do it by doing it. Yeah, but I will look stupid, and simple thing like dancing, for example, or singing. Adults are coming and and telling me, oh no, I'm using a lot of the movement and the dance in my group because I found it so beautifully freeing the mind from the mind. Somebody comes to say, no, I'm not dancing, I don't know how to dance. I say, but I saw you walking the other day. You came here by walking. Are you running? Yeah. So you know how to dance. Or you walk, you talk. How can you tell me you don't know how to sing? You are talking. And it's like, when you look at this, it looks like, yeah, but everybody is like this. But can you see how we destroy, how we prevent the natural expression that an adult will even be able to say that I don't know how to dance? It's so means he has an idea about a representation, about what is it to dance. And as he is not able to fulfill that idea that has been put in his brain by a kind of teacher or an authority, then he is stuck. He said, but I will not be able to climb my mountain. I will not be the mountain of dancing, for example. You understand my example. It's an analogy of, this whatever task or whatever situation is in front of us. Do we have the ability to respond, to go and trusting the synchronicity that will, if this is there in front of me, it's not that I have to come like, yeah, I know everything. No problem, guys. I know everything. I will climb this mountain. That's what we are trying to come with, very arrogantly, and trying to fake our way up. Instead of saying, wow, what a beautiful invitation. Let's see how it will happen. That's how I see education. Let's see how today this situation will unfold itself and find a way through this body, through me here. And awareness, watching it. Consciousness, watching it. And so, knowing that I'm not having to identify that I'm the one who can what's the word? Not fulfill, but not win. Réussir. Sorry. Réussir. I will be able to climb the mountain. I'm the one who will be. So very identify. It's me, or it's me also who is not able to do it. So this me is very concerned about his image. So as there is some risk that I will be seen as a failure, better not to do it. Better not to do it. And we have the society that we have right now, people sitting on their jewel, sitting on their beauty, and not daring to share anything, thinking that, no, because maybe I'm not going to do it the right way. So this is the new education. I think I take it very seriously, actually. I will say better, I'm taking it very sincerely, not seriously, but in that way of sincere. And I hope that you see that it's important right now to start to come back aligning all our dimension, and to find back that space which is already free, because we are all looking for freedom and love. I don't think I'm confusing by saying that. Everybody here is looking for freedom and love. And it's not enough just to know in the concept that it's all inside us. We all know that. At least probably you here, you all know that. Now it's the time to really realize it in ourselves, to really realize it inside this body, that it's not a concept. I'm seeing it still too often, that we are all one, we are united, but it's still a concept. It's not really walking the talk. This is what I've been learning from the native people, when I'm coming to the Navajo market, and I had already this inside me, but I was very touched as a mirror again, as a confirmation through that woman, these women, ordinary woman that we see in the market, in the native village. And look at me. And you? What did you came to offer? What are you having to offer? And this goes straight to my heart. It's not about how much money you have. It's not about what degree you have. It's not about what are you doing here. It's about what am I doing here. But you see, it's about what did you came to offer? I don't know if for you it rings, but for me it's totally a new way. It's not new, but it's new way. I don't hear it so much in the society, that we are looking for, what do you have to offer? What is calling, what is wanting to be offered here? And people, I ask this, they say, but I don't know. I don't know. But with whom are you living every day? Whom will know if you don't know? So, and it's like, I hope that there is a calling to say, maybe it's time that I recognize what I want to offer, and to honor it, and to stop to diminish myself and say, yeah, but I'm not good enough, and I didn't learn enough, but to trust that what you came here to offer, it's not something you are learning. You have to learn. It's something you are. This is what it means. Something we are. And what we are this is what also society is looking for. It's not looking for if you know how to do your work. It's looking for you. You as a human being, your vibration, your radiation, your beauty. Because maybe there is, and that's, I hope that it's time to support the child, to honor this, to be able to walk his talk, what he think is true. But first we have to stop to say that, no, it's not true. No, this is not true. This is, it's true because he just said it. The child is just saying it, you know? Yeah, you want to say something?
This is all so good, and I'm so thankful that I'm here. I'm watching the chat for you, and there's a person
Yeah,
asking to ask questions in the chat.
yes, yes, yes. Tell me.
Madhuri has a question.
Yes, hi. It's wonderful listening to you. Thank you. I'm Adri from India. Um,
Yeah,
um, I wanted to ask you. I'm in very much in alignment with what you mentioned about one of your childhood experiences, where your father had been through some accident, and your mom mentioned that could you just go to bed, but you felt it, and then you really wanted to know, and when that need was addressed, you were able to actually get to sleep. Um, while I completely align to that, sometimes I'm a mother of a 1 year old. Sometimes I get confused. I do observe that my daughter senses the environment, and there's nothing that I can really hide from her. But at times I get into this confusion that is it too much for a child who's really young? Would she be scarred? Um, what emotions, what intensity of emotions are good and not good? I just get into this confusion. So I'm going to put this a little more generic. So when we say that, let's uh, trust the child completely, and let us treat the child as an adult, or maybe as equals, I would say. It's just at times as a mother, or maybe as a, it's just a confusion in the mind, that is that really
yeah,
okay? That's my
yeah.
question.
Yeah, it's a big one because I think that it is not, I mean, here, what I'm hearing inside me, I will not be able to say that, okay, it's like this and it's fixed, you know, because I have I think it's every circumstance. But what I would say the basic is are you honest with yourself? The child would put you in front of your honesty. And what will be more important than you telling something to the kids is to be able to be seen in what is true for you, in your vulnerability, not to say, yeah, I'm fine, and you are shaking like this, and your world is collapsing inside and you are lost. It's okay to say, it's happening sometime, and mama is feeling a little bit like, shaky like this. And then maybe the child will say, yeah, I feel mama like this. And then you can play around this. The child will not understand, here. He would just can be related on the energetic level, like, okay, like this. So when I'm feeling like this, because I'm very connected to my mommy, I know that it's not because of me. Because for the kids, it's because of me. If he cannot be having the information clear, it's me who create that in the family, But
Okay.
that's why the secret I've been creating, because people are coming, when I work with them, it's like we took it personally. We identify with that, which is not our story. But I don't know if you want that I go a little bit in that, because it's all about love. It's like I'm amazed to see what I'm seeing since 20 years, and it's always the same. Whatever I'm doing, this kind of family constellation, but using the bird chart, and I developed my own approach with that. So we are playing the chart by people who are playing the Mars, people playing the Sun, your bird chart, for example. So nobody knows you. And it's amazing the information that comes out. And nobody knows astrology. And it's better when they don't know, because they don't go in their mind saying, the moon is like this. It's purely energetic. It's purely like an energy work. A lot of information is coming out. A lot of the secret are revealing themselves like this, because in fact, the quality of a secret is it wants to be seen. The secret don't want to be hidden. The energy of the secret is there. But then what what the work by, you know, then there is a whole process and all this. And what I'm seeing again and again for a lot of different dynamic that happen to my clients, we put it into drama, you know, we play as a theater, the form through the chart. What I'm observing is I can say now, I'm repeating, I have only 20 years of experience, but it's better than 1 year with a lot of different culture, which is important because as Indian or American or European is the same. I'm not being only working with American people. So it's a I love you, which has not been said. Can you hear it? It's just start with an I love you that I didn't dare to say, whatever reason. And from there, start the big chain from generation to generation, from different form of manifestation. One client will come say, how come I cannot have children? I have everything. I have my boyfriend. This is like in front before, there was somebody, you know, who loved the sister, and it was not possible at that time. You cannot love your sister because the you know, the sister of your husband, and then you could not say that I love you. So you make as if, you know, nobody knows, but you are in love. And then 4 generations later, 3 generations later, I cannot have a kid. Or 3 generations later, it's like I'm not able to have to build a stable relationship with somebody. How come? You know, I'm beautiful, I'm sexy, I have everything. How come it's not? It's very, very interesting. And I'm just really observing, you know, and telling you the fruit of my research or my exploration through that. So it's like I was sharing before, in the street, when you walk, when you are at work and you feel something. I'm not saying that you want to be nice. I'm not saying to add on and to be cool or to be nice. You will say to the person, you have a nice dress. This is fake, you know, to be just to listen to what is really coming, because you don't know, but somebody is calling, and then you will say, yeah, you know, I just read this book last night, and you never talk about this woman about something, and then suddenly you find yourself in her office, and you say, you know, I've been talking about this book last night, and it's exactly the book she was looking for. It's, I mean, we can give ton of example, you know, but that's what I mean by the love. This is love for me. It's not just I love you because you know, I want to have a relationship with you. This is love for me. This is our love is manifesting through, you know, I felt like they don't feel like going, so I'm sorry. So sharing the truth, this would be the best gift.
I think I get the essence of what you're saying.
Yeah, yeah, because it's not about, you know, it reminds me a woman, to answer more directly, but the daughter was not 1 year old, you know, she was 12 and she was splitting with the husband. And she came to me because she said, I have a problem with, I mean, it's not the only one who come, because I have difficulty with my kids following the divorce with my husband. And I said, so what it is? She said, but she cannot sleep alone anymore. And it's like, it was okay at the beginning, but now I feel she's insecure and it's not okay. I feel that the father was not good. He abandoned us. And I could see that she was still having a charge about that man, you know, that it's like that about. And so I allowed that space that she can live, that she was still very sad about the splitting with the man, with her husband. And she was looking for, what can I do with the kids? I said, but can I talk to the kids? And then finally they agree. So I talked to the kids alone without the mother. And so the kids say, you know, I said, you know, everything is confidential here. Don't worry, I will not talk to your mother. And she said, you know, it's like, I don't know what to do. I said, what's happening? What's there? She said, you know, my mother is like, she wants me always to sleep with her. And I mean, at the beginning, I felt like, okay, she was so sad. She's crying all the time and she's missing my dad. And it's like, so I feel so sad for her that I want to help her. So I went to sleep in her bed. But now I would like to go in my bedroom, you know, I would like to have my space. It's like, okay. So you see, but the mother was not seeing that, and consciously she was grabbing the child as a security net, blanket for her, and you know, she didn't want the child going. And I said, oh, okay, so could you say to your mother that you would like to go back in your bedroom? Could you just share this with your mother? She said, I'm afraid. I'm afraid because she cries so much that I don't want that to be responsible, you know. So I try to do my best to help her. And that's what all the kids are doing. That is what, as a kid, we came here for me to heal, to help the river to flow, to help the river to go with the flow, to remove the little rocks that has been putting there on the way. And this is, we came very well equipped to do that. And for this, we will need, you know, honesty. Like this woman was not honest with her kids, for example. You know, she was just using the child. And for me, this honesty is also a maturity that, of course, I can, you cannot blame this woman. She didn't have it. That's the work we did together to see that, you know, there is things that if she needs help, it's not the kid. It's not the kid to fulfill her emotional needs. This is not working like this, you know. You cannot ask for this. It will not work. And the
I'm
kids,
back.
yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm back at this at the point that I always start. Whenever we talk about children and understanding their needs, we sort of end up in the space where we'll have to work on ourselves.
It's totally.
I think that's a it's I think that's a primary primary thing that just comes out whenever we have this genuine discussion about, hey, what do I do about this situation with in the context with a child, and it goes back saying, okay, go one layer deep and work on yourself.
Yes,
Thank you for that.
yeah. And I will say that, you know, we like, at least in the West, I don't know in India, but we like this word of working on ourselves. And I would like to introduce another way of saying, like, what about discovering ourselves? What about coming back to consciousness that we are, turning our attention not to the story, to the situation, you know, but what is this situation help me to see, reveal? And that's beautiful, no?
True.
You know, so it's like here, through your child right now, through this situation, you have an invitation to see what's happening inside me. So it's not about looking for what will be right to do, what will be wrong to do, because it's, I don't think it's the right way, because as we see the child, that's what we have been learning, to do it right. Because if we don't do it right, there will be punition. Right according to whom? According to a concept, to an idea, which is already past.
Right.
It's not about what is alive right now inside me. And from there, I will be curious to hear you, Madhuri, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, I will be curious to hear you, to say, you know, what comes, you know, what is the gift actually, you know? And to have this attitude will be very exciting to see what is the gift here.
I truly do that, but let me be honest here.
Yeah.
I make an attempt. Initially, it's like this. Initially, it's like you know, you try out of your mind. Okay,
Yeah.
as you just mentioned, you're just trying to find right answers, and then you're like trying to solve it. And then after a while, you actually pause and then see, okay, there's something that's being there's something that's getting created here, and something that I need to learn. There's what's actually happening. When that moment comes, that's when actually you go about the process. But then it takes time for you to realize what is actually what is that voice which is inside, which is telling that, okay, this is where you are and this is why it is happening, and probably this is how you need to respond. But it takes time, is what I'm saying. So but yes,
it takes time.
I totally, yes,
I think it's the best way we can spend our time, actually. It will help humanity, because we are off, and we are making a lot of decision based on a concept, an idea, which has no roots in reality. And that's where the boat is drifting away. And we don't know, at one point we are so lost that we just, I don't know, we do anything and everything. It's time to get roots into here, into reality, And for this, is it a little bit what I've been starting, if you don't mind? Do I have time again? Yeah, a little bit, or is it okay? Are you with me?
Yes.
Okay, I continue?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, it's about that space of what I was talking before. And I think, Madhuri, that's what you are sharing, this space of face-to-face to I don't know. Because here, when I hear, you feel powerless, It's like, you feel like, oh my God, what to do in that situation? So you can feel this feeling of powerlessness, or I don't know, is powerless the word in English, like impuissance, not having power, not having able to.
I can relate to what you're saying.
Yeah. And then this is a good place. We are very vulnerable in that space, and usually we don't like it. But who doesn't like it? I, the little I don't like it, because he saw that he's not in control of everything like he likes to do it. And this space we don't like to see, even in front of the student, that if we are teaching or whatever, that we don't know. But I don't go there. Let's say just more intimate, whatever. That space inside, that it's a beautiful place to be. And right now, the situation of the world is really helping us to reach that space. I hope. I hope for everybody that, oh my God, I don't know anymore. Where are we going? What is it going to happen? What is it like? Oh my God. And now in America, I don't know if America with the election, like, wow. We are in an auspicious day today. In India, we are in an auspicious day, with Booty.
We are following US elections as well.
Yeah. But it's an auspicious day today also in India. I think it's Booty, when Shiva is meeting with, not with Parvati, but the Union. I don't know. I heard it today, and it's an auspicious day in America.
Maybe Veda can help us on this. I'm not sure about that.
Yeah, but this space, I want to see that, can we be allowing us on our knee, maybe, and without falling into the victim, without falling into depression, that acknowledging that now I don't know. And this is the first step to give space, and not looking, as you were saying, Madhuri, it's true what you are saying, it takes time, because often the mind wants to go fast. And what the mind is doing is start to take something and he analyze it. He said, okay, this is what's happening. And he analyze it, he put it in a box, and he said, okay, I understood. It's because I have some sadness, and I have some anger, or I was some frustration. And then he fits, then I'm okay, I'm safe. No analysis, no comment, no judgment on top of something. Just being with the sensation, just being with what is, and diving with it. I don't know if you follow me. Just be. It needs courage.
Yes, absolutely.
The shortcut will be like, yeah, but I know what's happening. So I mean, it's just that I just need to work on that. No, because this is, you come with knowledge, and knowledge come from the past. So the recipe you use in the past is not the same which is calling for right now. Because right now is fresh. Right now is new.
Right.
Right now you can respond, not react.
If I have to interrupt you here at this, just a moment, the education system, the conventional education system throughout, has trained us, to be conclusive, to be in the past.
Exactly.
So
then I'm safe because I as the ego survive. I'm okay.
Exactly.
I'm somebody. I understood. I'm okay. Then the ego is like, oh, I'm good. I have a place in that world. But it's like what we are facing all the time is this. We know that everything is impermanent. And we know all that we are always insecure because we know that the situation will change and we will be again towards something new.
Right.
And so the real security we are looking for, and this is the security that the child is having, and we are cutting its roots. And I would say that this is a crime. I mean, we should be aware that it's not something we want to do. We want to support this, the natural roots into a deeper security that the child has. And so that acknowledging it, and so that he can walk in life, trusting that, in fact, he doesn't need to know something. He needs to be able to learn when he needs to learn something. So if in life he comes to a situation where he comes and having to build a house, or I don't know, to find a shelter, he doesn't need to know where he's going on, but he can know and trust that he will know how to do. Do you understand the difference? And us, we pack our mind with knowledge that will not serve anything, anytime in our life, But we don't know when we face something new. We are in a car and the tire breaks, and then we say what to do. And we look Google. What to do, Google? My tire broke. What to do? And then we look at Google, and Google is telling us what to do. I mean, it's sad, no? Here, there is no more inner intelligence to say, okay, let me feel. Do I stay? What's happening? What is it happening here? And then information will come. Do I call a taxi? Do I wait? Maybe, we just come in a blank and we don't know. Does it make sense what I'm saying? And
completely.
When I see a child telling me at 9 years old, I don't know, I feel very sad, because it's not a question of age. He will be the first one to say, I don't know, but I will do it. An adult will say, I don't know. But even now, the little kids are saying, I don't know. And you know what I mean? I don't know here. I don't know. I'll let life go its way. It's natural expression. This is very sad, And we have to relearn that. We have, I would say, what I'm saying often is like, it's rusty. It's not gone. It's just rusty. We need a little cleanup, And that's what maybe I'm offering, a little cleanup, that so that we can trust again that our capacity to respond, our capacity to have access to the information that is always in the sky, information is there that will come at the right moment when we need that. So the mind for this has to be quietened. That's why meditation, the master, the wise people are teaching us that are to sattvic mind, to go into, so that the space is not so much busy, so that nothing can be received. There is too much radio channel at the same time. Like right now in the world, there's a lot of channel information, and we are just lost and we don't know anymore.
Yes, absolutely.
So what a beautiful opportunity, because when this is happening, there is only one channel we need to find, and it's the one who is resonating here and roots ourselves there, because any channel is just making noise. So it's a beautiful invitation to root deeper in an inner truth, you know.
Thank you so much. It was more of a reinforcement and then honest sharing. Thank you for that space.
Yeah, thank you. Maybe we're open for maybe somebody else who would like to share or bring.
Sure. I think we have some more time.
As you want.
We can just if anybody wants to ask, if anybody wants to comment.
To comment, I would be curious. Yeah. To what was the gift? Is there something there that resonates for you that brought a little opening in your heart?
Sue, you want to say something?
Sure. Thank you so much. I resonated with everything you said.
Yeah.
And then on a non-dual spiritual path that very much resonates with this. And I'm in almost complete retirement now from years and years of teaching. And there was something inside of me that didn't get dampened despite everything that happened in schooling, which never really felt like a match and felt pretty much like a death march a lot of the time. And when I became a teacher, that spark in me was determined to support the spark in the kids. It began in preschool, and that was a wonderful place to support the children's play, to support their emergence, to support their flowering. And I developed this question, well, how can all of education be like preschool? And eventually went on to get a master's in literacy with a professor who became my mentor, who was very holistic. And we are co-authoring a book that's about to be published. And it's titled Pockets of Freedom, Celebrating Intuitive Teaching and Learning. And it contains stories about our teaching, and mine went from preschool, college, high school, elementary, special ed, et cetera, all over. And my co-author, who was a university professor who, despite everything that the university was trying to tamp down with her teaching, which was to awaken in her students so that they could awaken in their students their intuition and their, know that they can tap that and that can flower. And then another teacher's stories are in the book too, who was 5th and 7th grade, just remarkable, in a similar situation where the administration was always trying to tamp down what she was doing in her classroom. But we were determined, and we couldn't do it any other way, because that was our connection to our heart's wisdom. So it's really lovely to feel the timeliness of speaking out like this, and celebrating inner wisdom. And I'm excited at this conference to hear speakers, speak so directly to this. It's a wonderful, wonderful feeling. So thank you.
Thank you. So it has its place in the conference, in the big conference of IDEC. This sharing, it has its purpose. What I'm bringing, the subject has its place into this conference.
Oh, it absolutely is the heart.
Yeah.
I think is our growing There's our growing deepening about what does learner-centered education really mean.
Yeah, and if I can add something on the spiritual side, you know, because of course this is where I'm standing here, and it's like I don't make any difference between spirituality and material for me. You know, it's just about we are life itself, expressing itself, and sometimes I call it love, sometimes I call it peace. The way it reveals to me was through the peace that we are, that nobody has ever touched or wounded or stolen or hurt, you know, even if everybody has experienced that as a little child, which is wounded. This is before that, and this is who we are. And what I'm observing is like, it's really, I'm happy to see so many people thirsty for coming back home, for, you know, in the general language, they would say like, okay, awakening, because it's going out of the dream, you know, because what I'm observing is like, I see that it's only from there, when the true nature is recognized, that we can really welcome the child, that we really have kindness, and that we can really see that the only movement is about embracing, that life is only embracing everything, that it's not about having a result. We are not going nowhere. It's about rejoicing. And it's like, then as long as this recognition is not really, not just as a concept, you know, but really seen, I see, if I can say it, I know I don't know to who I'm talking, maybe it's for somebody, but I will just say it as I have the platform to talk, that it's like, it's still looking through psychology. It's still looking as becoming a better person. It become more refined. It become more kind of well said. It's no more like big moral, you know, the morality of to be a good wife and to be a good woman, and, you know, like maybe as our parents or their parents. It become maybe like with a little tint of freedom, but it's still totally as a separate individual, as a me, you know, as a psychological story to become better. And I don't know if I'm clear. And it's not about that. It's not, the child doesn't need to become better. He just needs to be, you know. And I think it's the inner quest for a lot of people, you know, this thirst of being. But we are still, what I'm seeing in the satsang or in the meeting I'm doing with people, I can still hear this longing going through the psychological path, because it's often people who have been doing growth development and, you know, personal development and learning on themselves, which is beautiful, you know. But at one point, this also has to be left. This also has to be seen that this was for the person. But who am I? Who am I? Am I this person only? And as long as then we will try to make the child, and it's okay, the child, that he become a person. It's very good to have a strong ego as a child, because that's how after that he can drop it, you know. If there is no personality, then the child, we are going in life and trying to say, recognize me and I'm good and I'm an expert and I'm, you know, having a lot of letters after my name and look, I'm good, I'm, you know. And in fact, we are nobody. You know, I was hearing the presentation and I was saying, you know, this is nothing actually. This has been the path that I've been following. But today it's like, I'm just a human being, you know, just an ordinary person sharing here like everybody. It's not so much about how many letters you have after your name, or I can hear on the web, you know, now it's like, he is an expert, or we have expert, and we like to be the best one, you know, what it is, you know, what is this? It's so I really have an hope with that thirst and with this falling apart of the structure outside and everything of our reference and security falling apart right now, that we will find that space of returning our attention to what is prior the experience, and from there seeing that the natural movement of life is only to embrace, to really say yes, and that yes is the healer, that yes, big yes to what is the only thing that life is inviting us on this plane of planet Earth, you know. And before that, we are still addressing that, yeah, but my kid has to be somebody. I have to be somebody. And I hope that you are not looking for being somebody, but just recognizing who you already are, you know, and to be in tune here. And yeah, that's, and I hope the little hint that was sharing about listening, about coming back here, about trusting, about daring, about having the courage to experiment and to have this face to face with not knowing, and to honor this natural expression that can change life of somebody with the synchronicity law, you know, and 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 to stop holding our I love you, to stop holding back, saying, oh, it was not the right moment, you know, or I didn't know that person so much to tell her thank you so much for being here, or being the who you are, you know, thank you for coming and sharing your medicine with us, thank you for your beauty, thank you for your silence, you know. We don't dare to say that. You see, the other will know. No, we need to hear it. It's good to hear it, isn't it? It's good to hear it. And it's not about the ego. It's good to hear that. Thank you, Veda, for everything you are organizing, for everything, the energy you put into that. It's precious. It's important. It's not just for the ego. It's a yes to, yes, I heard it. I heard life. Do you understand what I mean? I heard you, life. Yes, yes. Mm. So it's not time to play the shy anymore. It's not time to play the we cannot do this. In our culture, we don't do that. No, it's time to let the love find this new way of expression, and to see that it's fine, you know. Let ourselves be a little bit shaky with love.
Mhm. I think life is all about expressing the beauty. If we do not express beauty that is inside, I think life will lose its meaning probably.
Yeah.
I have a small question, because I read your bio, a small introduction, and you said that you were you were shaman, kind of. You have that knowledge. Would you explain a bit about shamanic practices, how it relates to education, and what do you think what kind of value does it hold in terms of education? Because the shamanic practices are generally not well received.
Yeah, but I'm not.
By rational
That's
minds.
why. Yeah, like usually, I mean, I'm not myself, honestly, talking that I am a shaman in any kind, because there is so much folkloric and now a kind of fashion around that you know, everybody's declaring that now I'm a shaman. I have nothing against, but it's like we are still looking in the apparent world of, you know, now I have my drum and I have like you know, and I'm doing hoo. It's like same as in India. We are coming here, we do say, okay, I'm doing my mantra, and it's like, okay, I'm in the spiritual because I did Om Namah Shivaya, and I don't understand anything, and I'm not connecting. It's like we have to watch all this, you know. these are paths that are inviting us to be total. For me, my experience is like what I was sharing, is the connection with nature. For me, this is shamanic path. It's about like connecting with the spirit of the water, the spirit of the earth. It's not, I'm not having practice. The practice is the shaman who told me that what I was doing, they were doing it. And I said, oh my God, he's doing the same as me, you know? But me, I didn't know. It just came naturally, that offering things to nature, asking permission, for example, saying thank you, because I had my guys, I had my friends, you know, they were my friends. So we say hello, say, what do you think? And they teach me about respect, about that there is sacred space, that you don't walk like this anywhere in nature. And by having your senses open, you will feel when you cross a border, that you go into a territory which is sacred, and it's better not to walk there, you know. And you don't need to understand that, you don't need to have somebody who say, and the native knows that, they will say, no, this is where the ancestors are living, this is, we keep it quiet there, or we come here and pray, or, and nature is full of place like this. And us, we arrive anywhere, anytime, and we don't see anything, you know, we are very gross. It's like we, and so shamanic for me, it's that way, it's the art of listening. It's this, that's a little bit what I've been sharing tonight. It's not about doing drum regression and recovering the soul. It's not necessarily that. It's about knowing that we are the elements, and each element is here, and nature is just a mirror, you know, and the cosmos also, you know, the planets, it's not something separate. This is having an effect on us, you know, like when I heard in astrology, now Saturn, you know, is there, oh my God, like, yeah, Saturn is a friend, you know. I mean, what is it his visit makes in your life? Are we connecting? Are we, yeah, connection. And I would say this vision that we are all interconnected, for me, this is the, but it's not just shamanic, but it's you know, it just happened to me that I'm, you know, connect easily with the spirit world. So that has been a path that has been, for me, revealing a lot, you know. And I'm inviting people, like I do vision quests with people I'm working with, for example, you know, that we know this is a very strong learning. And in shamanic practice, I find that the natives still have the ritual for honoring the passage in our life, different initiation, you know, from around 14, for example. It's a strong passage around, you know, 39, 40, you know, 12 years old. It's like we don't do anything here anymore, you know. Nothing has been to put the kids alone in nature and say, okay, let's see if you survive for 2 days, you know. How you will find your food, how you will find. And in Canada, we still have, you know, that around 16, 17, 18, often we go off for 1 year off, drop the school and go backpacking, and then meet the world, meet how we deal with money, how we deal with people, how we deal with being able to respond to new situation, which is, and then you come back, you are grown up. And I was amazed when I arrived in Europe, in France mainly, and I was hearing kids saying, no, but I cannot leave, you know. Why? You cannot, when you finish school. No, I'm going, because then if I'm not doing all my school and doing my work, I will lose 1 year and I will lose some money when I will be retired. 16, 17 years old, thinking of his retirement. It's like, oh my God, you know. So I found very little bit immature, you know, because they don't know anything about art themselves. And for me, this will be like, okay, it's time to, I would say, to, like what the shaman is like, okay, what do you have to offer, you know, and put ourselves through some initiation. And it's beautiful, even if it's with adults, you know, this vision quest, to be alone in the forest for 2-3 days, you know, and the connection of, you know, for me, what I'm calling, it's like stitching back what has been broken, just stitching back, so just that this channel, this antenna that we are, is able to receive the information and to discern and to align and to recognize here the presence who is observing all this.
Yeah.
So it's I'm no more, you know, so much into when a technique is useful, then you use the technique, but I don't need techniques, you know. It's more like just being with the person and inviting that space. But my path has been a lot with shaman, that has been had the chance to be recognized in my way of working, of channeling, and it has been helpful for me.
Yeah, yeah. Like I think because we live in an age which is very rationalistic, you know. We train students to be irrational. Like when I was young in the sense when I was like 17, 18, I was really rational in the sense I did not have much of belief in spirits and the sacred zones, traditions, and so on. But later on, when life just takes you somewhere, you know, and then you realize importance, and then you realize that there is something that is actually guiding you constantly, or there is something that is hidden within you.
Yeah.
And then you think in those terms of spirit, spirituality, and then slowly you discover a lot of different things. And I mean, when you start discovering, you may feel enthusiastic to explain to people, okay, this is something like this is like this is like this, okay, there is something else. But then lately what I have felt is that do we really is it important that we explain about these things to young people or friends or small children about these things, or will people discover on their own how? Because these are not really things that people can see. These are not really things that are tangible. So
yeah, it's good. I like it because that's the enthusiasm that I see, and I'm mainly working with women. I don't know, they are more attracted to this inner journey, and so it's very interesting because they go back home and they tell their husband or, you know, their friend, and it's like, okay, now, and then we have been doing this, and now we can do this, and then they say, stop to preach, you know. It can be received as a preaching, or they try to, okay, you try to repeat what Aashti is saying. And often that's what the tendency at the beginning, we are so enthusiastic into what we are discovering, and it's natural. You know, the kids, when I'm saying to my people, look at the kids, when he come and say, Mama, look at my drawing. It's not an ego. It's not the ego who is doing that. It's natural. Like, look at the sun. The sun is doing this every day. He's saying, look, the beauty. I'm putting my light. Can you see the beauty? And us, when we do something, I'm so touched, you know, when people, I say, but why you don't show it? Oh, it's because I don't want to nourish my ego, or, you know, I'm not in the ego. So the discernment is not there of the natural joy of showing who we are, you know. So we are so much disconnected of this natural thing that we fake it. So then we become like, you know, did you see me? Did you see me? And this is the ego that needs to recuperate, because we don't allow the sun, you understand this? You know, the sun, we are the sun, and everything is alive around us. So I like to play like this, but it's to be more precise on your question. I think it's what I like. I think what I'm doing, but it's I don't want to pretend it's right. But in the school, you know, when I'm working with people, actually, I don't tell them. I'm creating a space. I'm creating a situation in which they will be able to experience. You know? And so it's not that I know what should be experienced. Of course, I'm having an intention that whatever needs to be revealed, like tonight, whatever needs to be heard tonight, I trust that everybody has been hearing what he needed to, you know? So by creating a space, an opportunity, like this vision quest, for example, like a place where, okay, let's dance. I remember a woman saying, yeah, but Aashti, you didn't tell me what to do. If you will have tell me a little bit more how to do it, then I will have be more able to live the experience deeper. I said, but no, because my invitation was that you discover by yourself what wants to be experienced. If not, you will repeat A, B, C, and trying to follow a certain logic. I don't tell them anything. I just say, just allow. What it is if you allow. And then people at the beginning are lost and they don't like me. In the first year of my training, they like me and they don't like me because they say, but give us more information. Tell us more what to do. I said, no, because that's my invitation. That's a gift of not anybody telling you what to do. And I think with the child, this is maybe the invitation. You have been touching something, you have been reaching a space. They probably get it through your vibration, but then you can, if you want, and you are turned on, you can create a space, a situation where they can experience themselves around that and see what happens.
Yes, Aashti, now
I think we have to go.
We have to go. We have another session coming. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Very important thing that you have raised, because I think in democratic education as well, like when you spoke about things that are, aspects of spirit and so on, I mean, creating a democratic environment doesn't necessarily mean that it should be only rational. It should cater to rational viewpoints. There are, like, I think when you talk about giving that freedom, making it possible for children or anybody to come up with their originality, I think it has deeper spiritual aspect, or the aspect that we may not be able to explain. Thank you for raising very important point. Thank you very much.
Thank you. It was a joy. Fun. I really had a lot of fun, and I hope I see, even if it's in French, I hope that to see some of you on Saturday. And thank you for inviting me, and really, really big hug to everybody. I don't see you, but
Aashti, this is Thomas. Just a few seconds. Montreal is so important in my life. I'm going to reach out and connect with you about Montreal and Quebec in the next few days. So big thanks for who you are and all you've shared.
Okay. And I mean, is it possible for the people, if they want to connect with me, do they have the connection? Do they have my email, or is it possible or not?
You can put it in the chat.
You can put it in the chat.
I can put it in the chat?
My email is there, Aashti Thomas Hatfield. That's my email address in the chat.
Okay. How do I write it?
Underneath at the bottom, there's a place to type.
Abel, can
but it's written private.
C'est marqué converser en bas de ton ordinateur, en bas de ta fenêtre.
Oui, converser.